Hey, so I made a how-to video on kombucha brewing and it was awful. So I couldn't redo the video because I only have one SCOBY. So I'm basically going to just talk about what I did. I want to show you what I have created and all of the things. So I took a French press coffee maker and I made a high concentrate tea, sweet tea. So I did 2 to 3 tablespoons of loose leaf tea with 4 cups of boiling hot water, 1 cup of, I did raw sugar. And I let it steep for about 15 minutes, and it sounds kind of long, but you want it to steep for a while because you are really looking to extract as much from that tea as possible. So, and if you have really beautiful tea, all the better. And you do want that much sugar. So anywhere from 3/4 cup, I would say, to 1 1/4 cup. And really a lot of it is preference on your sweetness, but also, you know, the sugar is what the SCOBY uses to feed off of, as well as the caffeine from the tea. So you need a tea that has caffeine. So you want a green tea, a jasmine, black tea. There's a variety of teas, but you do want teas that have a good amount of caffeine in them as well. So in my first video, when I was showing you all how to make a SCOBY, I took somebody else's SCOBY while I used G&T kombucha, and I just used a little bit of the kombucha from there to grow my own SCOBY. And I was talking with a friend about that. So he said that, I was borrowing somebody else's SCOBY, and I completely agree with that. And I think it's kind of an amazing thing. So one thing that's cool about kombucha is that you keep growing a SCOBY and you give it to somebody else. So it's this very communal thing, and it's beautiful. But I really did some research on how you make a SCOBY absolutely from scratch using nobody else's SCOBY. So considering that this type of fermentation has been around for hundreds of years, and you have to create an environment that the good bacteria that you want will cultivate in. So it's a very, very, very fickle process. Apparently over the course of hundreds of years, it took that long to, create SCOBYs that people just keep passing on to each other. Anyway, what I have learned is that growing a SCOBY from zero, using tea, sugar, and water, and fermenting it down and straining it, it takes a long time, years and years and years. So I think that borrowing SCOBYs, quote unquote, is really a beautiful thing. And if I had had somebody that was making their own SCOBYs, I would really like to have used theirs. So I do have some friends that have actually recently reached out saying they have some. So as soon as I get another beautiful mother SCOBY, I will make a how-to video that is better. So after I brewed the tea and the concentrate, I have to let it cool down. So you don't want to ever put your SCOBY into any kind of hot water. So it'll kill it. You also have to keep the water between 65 to 95 degrees, as you want, not 95, I'm sorry, 65 to about 90 degrees, as you want it any lower than 65 and bacteria can start to grow in the SCOBY, and that's not good either. Any higher than 90 degrees and you can kill the SCOBY by burning it. So after that, I have brewed a gallon of kombucha here. So try to move it over here. You got my little guy floating around in there. You can see him. So this SCOBY is really small for this amount of tea, but we'll see. This is my first time doing stuff, so this is a trial and error process. I have a cloth over top of it that is breathable to keep bugs out and all of that. You need air to be able to get into it. This container does have a lid that has a little pop But for this purpose, I think this works better. Basically, is all you want is to keep the bugs out. I'm not looking for anything else from it right now. So this will go through 2 types of fermentation, and this is the first fermentation. This will take anywhere from 4 to 7 days. So I'll come back to it in a couple of days and see how it's doing and how it's growing. So I take the concentrate, the tea concentrate, the sweet tea concentrate, and I mix it with 8 cups of cold water in here. And then this is the batch that I grew the SCOBY, and I still have a little bit of SCOBY left in there too. I am not sure what to do with it. It was a little weird looking, but I don't know much about things, so nothing about this appears to be bad. It smells beautiful, all the things. So if it's a good SCOBY, then I'll make another batch and do a how-to video with that. But basically, you're gonna wanna add about 2 cups of this tea to this batch. And is what that does is it helps bring the pH of the environment down and to a level that is conducive for growing the SCOBY and the bacteria that you want. So this is very, very, very important part of the process. I took a temperature of it, and we're at about 88, 87 degrees, which is perfect for right now. So I'm gonna let it sit in a, cool but room temperature environment that's also dark. So if I can, I'll put it back up in my cupboard where I had kept the SCOBY growing, and if it's not big enough, then I'll keep it on the counter over here. But either way, I think it will be good. So beyond that, I am going to show you a couple of other things that I have, but let's take a look at the SCOBY. It really is beautiful. I'm going to pop this off so you guys can kind of see it a little bit better in here. All right. See him down there? So he was really beautiful. I don't know why I'm calling it a he for any particular reason. Giving gender to a living organism that doesn't have any type of sex characteristics. So we are going to let him chill out. So I went to Jungbu recently. I always say the name of that store wrong, and it is the most amazing store ever, and it's here in Chicago. It's a Korean market, and it's absolutely stellar. And I bought this beautiful kombucha fermenting vessel. I wanted something clear so that we could watch it happen, so that I could watch all of the loveliness happen. I have other fermenting vessels that I'm going to show you right now as well, that I will use in the future when I don't necessarily need to watch it grow and do its thing. But for the purpose of these videos, I wanted something that was clear. And it's a beautiful one. So over here, I have some other fermenting vessels. So this one I showed you last time. So all of these are from Melissa Monroe, and I am going out to see her today. So I'm gonna do some work with her. We're not sure what yet. We're gonna do a little brainstorming, but she does amazing pottery. She works with restaurants all over Illinois and Wisconsin. Yeah, so she has a lovely farm that I'm gonna go check out today. So these are the fermenting vessels that I have from her. This has a little spout. It's inside. I had to do a deep clean on it. This is a beautiful kimchi fermenting vessel, along with this one here. Sauerkraut. I mean, really, just about any kind of thing that you want to ferment can go in these. So this one here, which I do really love, has beautiful weights. So all of these pieces here let you weigh it down. So you put these on top to keep all of the ingredients below the fluid. So you want to make sure it's always under the fluid. And I took a class with Pascal Badour recently, and he said that he never uses the weights that he did at one point, but now he just makes sure he comes back to it every day and he stirs it and he makes sure that he's, you know, keeping it active and all the things. So anyways, on my blog at gypsyvivande.com and on my Instagram and IGTV, I will have the full recipe for this kombucha brew that I did. Again, the video that I made was just bad. I would start a sentence and then completely never finish it. So don't want to do that. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, and I can't wait. So like I said earlier, this is the first fermentation that we'll go through, and I want to do two fermentations because I like carbonation and I want it to be fizzy. And with the second carbonation, I can flavor as well. So I know I'm going to use peaches because they are in season right now, and that sounds so unbelievably good. And we'll see, I might be able to do probably 2 different kinds of flavors with this. So depending on how big I want the bottles. Anyway, thanks for listening, and cheers to good gut health, wild food, wild fermentation, all of the things. So I hope everybody has a great day.